everyone, checking in on the market. So finally getting a shift in momentum, and got to talk about what kicked it off, because if you need any more convincing that this is a game and it's not a fair game, and we have to accept that if we're going to play this game, today we had a headline come out. Let's look at it on the 1 minute time frame. And the headline came out and it said something about China potentially backing away from a deal. And here's your response. And we see this significant dump for about 5 minutes. And literally less than 10 minutes later, an article comes out with a headline saying, U.S. in final stages of trade deal with China, so-and-so representative flying to Beijing March 25th. Literally opposite headlines within a 10-minute span, causing bots to react. Bots scan those headlines and react to it. It led to a dump. We then got a significant bounce, but by the end of the day, the momentum did shift to favor those bears for the first time. So here's your dump, there's your bounce recovery, and then it rolled over and saw weakness at the end of the day. The 5-minute RSI on SPY or SPX both got to the most oversold that we have seen on this entire bull move up. So the entire bull run from the 27s, the low 27s, look at the 5-minute RSI. Right off 30, right off 30, right off 30. You are in a strong uptrend when you bounce off the 5-minute RSI 30. In cryptocurrency, on the Bitcoin bull run in 2017, this play was, you could do it with your eyes closed, free money. If it hits 30 RSI on the 5-minute time frame, you buy. And that has been the case for this market the entire bull move. So it's very notable when that changes, because it's essentially showing us, number one, the bulls are not playing as strong defense. And number two, the selling pressure from the bears is pushing the price to more extreme RSI levels. So that is a notable shift in momentum. We did almost close weak. We bounced $1 on SPY into the close. We bounced a solid amount, $10 on SPX before the close. But we were so oversold that that's just a short-term bounce. What we're watching for now that's going to be very telling, obviously the FOMC tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, the language from the Fed regarding the future. I mean, pretty much we had the Fed saying in December, they shifted their tone and said, we are reacting to markets. We are taking it into account. And so the market said, oh, good, we can breathe a sigh of relief. The Fed's not going to do anything stupid while the market's weak. Now the market has bounced for 3 months, essentially. And so the question is the Fed going to get a little bit more hawkish and talk a little bit more about raising rates? And is that going to cause a pullback in the S&P 500? I was surprised this morning we were not seeing profit taking after the 8-day bull move heading into the uncertain FOMC event. But obviously by the end of the day, that's what happened. So the hourly uptrend for SPX is still intact. We have this low of 28.18. We had a higher low from yesterday at 28.22, and we held that at 28.23 at the end of the day. So for the bears to make any kind of statement tomorrow, we have to see an hourly lower high and lower low, because that confirms the hourly trend change. We still have an hourly uptrend on the S&P 500 SPX here at this point. So that is what I'm watching. If we lose the hourly uptrend, we zoom out and look for daily consolidation. We know we're due for daily consolidation. We're going to anticipate a daily higher low is likely to form. Anything above 27.22 is a daily higher low. So bulls have tons of space to work with. RSI 70 has been a rejection point on the daily time frame here. And at the high of today, the RSI was just above 70 on SPX on the daily time frame. So now the pullback is starting. The question is, can the reaction to the FOMC shake off this bearish momentum and just see a continuation hourly uptrend move? Or do we lose the hourly uptrend and then need to consolidate on the daily time frame to form a higher low? IWM pulling back from the higher open, still within this range. The last 5 days, we've been within this trading range. We are looking for the daily lower high to be set. In order to be confident that it is, we have to break 154.20. If we break 154.20, we're going to look for our tightening range with the high, the low. That will be our lower high, and then we'll look for a higher low compared to 150.61. But that's only if we break 154.20, because otherwise the bulls are keeping that support level intact, and that's a little higher low, base of level that was established. QQQ, indecision doji. So QQQ is running the show for the S&P 500. That's been the case pretty clearly for the last, couple months, but really for the last 8 days for me. And if we see weakness tomorrow with a break of 178.29 to see daily consolidation, that's going to be the indication that the market is going to consolidate as well. So That's the most important support level short term. The hourly time frame, you can see we didn't have much bounce. This is after hours, still fading a little bit. But if we look at regular trading, we still haven't lost the hourly uptrend on QQQ as well. So similar scenario to SPY. It's just whether or not we fade and break the lows of today tomorrow to indicate daily consolidation is underway here. That's the profit taking I expected to see today. The financial sector, after seeing this kind of upside, and you look at the risk to reward heading into an unknown event about, monetary policy, the risk to reward is absolutely on the bulls at that point because they've run so hard. What are the odds that after that significant of a run, which I just looked at, so we just ran 5.5%. What are the odds that we see a 2% bull reaction over the next few days to the FOMC after a 5% bull run versus a 2% pullback after a 5% bull run? I would argue that it is much more likely to see a 2% pullback. So we already started pulling back today. The hourly uptrend has been lost. And we're now going to be looking for confirmation of the trend change. We pulled back in one straight pullback. The RSI is almost oversold. Are we going to bounce and set an hourly lower high and a lower low to confirm that the hourly trend has changed? And on the daily chart, we're looking for a higher low here. Anything above 25.68 keeps the uptrend intact. XBI pulling back today, but still a base of support, have not broken higher lows. Actually, yesterday we broke it by 11 cents, but clearly not a lot of follow through at this point. If we look at 90.43, 90.74, these support levels are still holding and a little bit of a base of support in the mid $90 range. And we're going to have to see, it's a nice hourly equilibrium actually with the high of 2 days ago, the low, lower high, higher low, lower high. And if we break 90.82 and 90.74, that is a bear break of this hourly equilibrium that tells us daily consolidation to form a higher low is underway. Oil, indecision candlestick today. So same thing as everybody else. We're watching the hourly trend. Look at all that choppy action, the second half of trading today. And the bears, if they're going to get follow through, need to see another clear break of the 58.70s. You can see all the support. Really, 58.80 stands out here. That's putting the line at 58.78, and you can just see every candlestick closing above it. Bottom line is, same as everybody else. We need to break the low of yesterday, 58.60, to indicate daily consolidation is underway, and that is what we're looking at on everybody. So we're looking for hourly lower highs and lower lows to confirm the change in trend. If that's the case, we zoom out in the daily. We look for healthy daily consolidation for a higher low to form, and if we get some kind of surprise from the FOMC, I don't anticipate it being a bullish surprise saying, hey, we're never going to raise rates again. I would anticipate it, if it's going to be a surprise that the market's going to react to, it would probably be some hawkish language saying, hey, the market's just fine. It's made an incredible recovery, and we're now looking to do so-and-so in the future. So we'll see, anticipating the first hour of trading has opportunity on FOMC days, but at about 10:30 to about 2 p.m. Eastern, that opportunity really dwindles as the market pretty much just holds its breath and waits for the FOMC. So keep that in mind to not over trade in that later morning, early afternoon period. And I'm sure it'll never be a dull moment with what we see tomorrow. And we'll check back in after that. Have a good night. Hey everyone, chapter 12 of Adventure Time. And here we are headed into Telluride, Colorado. Great little mountain town, a little bit of a ski resort kind of town. But as you can see, it's wonderful. They've got some nice old little shops lining the streets and mostly tourists, I would say, that come in, but not too bad in terms of, it's again, very small, so not too overcrowded. So I went here, like I said, on couchsurfing.org. I got in touch with people. They said, hey, there's a music festival in town. You should check it out. You can volunteer and see it for free, get a free ticket. And there's a spot just outside of town where you can camp for free as well. This is one of the areas I wish I took a picture of the road that I would have to go up every day to get to my camping spot. But in my little Honda Civic, 2-wheel drive, this dirt road, steep incline with literally going, 2 feet a minute, more than that, but just navigating around these boulders that are the size of, my tires. So that was a fun adventure, but never got stuck. There's my tenting spot surrounded by a little grove of birch trees. And again, it's free 5 minutes outside of town. You can either pay $100, $200 a night to stay somewhere in town, $100, or for free just outside of town. There's the nice mesh top to my tent to leave you exposed. There's Mr. Byrne. So David Byrne of the Talking Heads, very impressed with his voice. His voice is exactly the same as it was back in the day. And they put on a good show. If you've never listened to the album by David Byrne and St. Vincent, Love This Giant, that's a good album. And it was a very entertaining show where they had a whole brass band and they were choreographed and moving around the stage. And I had never seen live performances of the Talking Heads with him back in the heyday. And just within the last month, I came across those, and I ended up being up until, 2 a.m, just going down this rabbit hole. But they were entertaining, and those were some fun shows to watch. So David Byrne, sweet show, great performance at this festival, the Ride Festival. Cake was on before them. Cake was great. They're hysterical. And then Rodrigo y Gabriel were before them. So pretty good headliners. Again, free music for the weekend and a bunch of really happy people. That's the venue. That's what's surrounding you. So just really nice nature encompassing area and a big field. And so one of my jobs was as a volunteer, right? So I help with parking, or I help with directing people where to go for camping. In this one, this is a baseball field, obviously, and there's this one path behind me where I'm standing right now, or in the picture, and there's a dirt road, and they need to keep that dirt road clear for emergency vehicles. That's just what they have to do. So there's tents in front of me, and the stage is in front of me over here, and behind me is the camping sites with it's in the forest with a bunch of trees, and that's where the majority of people are camped. So they put me in this little doorway that's meant for, I don't know, to get from the bench on the side of the baseball field onto the field. And they put a chair there and they had me sit there. So everybody after the show that's wanting to come back to their tenting site walks straight here to me and tries to get through. And I have to tell them, you can't get through here. It's an emergency road. Sorry. You have to go all the way around. And it's not a huge deal. The patient, understanding people among the group were saying, okay, and they would go walk the extra couple hundred yards. But it was an extra couple hundred yards, and it was illogical. You're looking at your tent 200 feet away, and I'm telling you, you have to go walk multiple football fields in a big loop around the outside fence, all the way back around. So I'm dealing with a music festival crowd of messed up people, and they're arguing with me, and they're giving me so much hate. And I'm just saying, guys, I'm doing what I'm told to see free music. This has nothing to do with me. Please just go walk around the fence. And these belligerent people, some of them were spitting their venom on me, but fortunately I was able to. I can remember it being very stressful, but got through it. Gondola, there's the town of Telluride, heading up the mountain. Great spot to go. Again, another little great town to check out. And that's that. After that, headed over met some nice, cool people. And that was another thing. Again, I don't really, when I'm traveling by myself, I'm in the nature alone most of the time. I interact with people so infrequently that normally, I like being alone. But in these instances, it was good to hang out with people. And I did make some friends and, go hang out with them and go eat some dinner and things like that. So that's always fun. After this, went over saw another show. I went to Red Rocks to see String Cheese Incident, so we'll go there next. Hope you have a good day.